Hey friends, it's me, Dr. Amber here, and I am back to have some more chit chat with you. And I hope that you are interested in hanging out with me as we have a fun and interesting and lighthearted conversation about life, love, and business. I am a communication coach to executives and global teams, and you will find content on this channel with me helping people become better communicators. But I'm also just a person who's out here trying to live my life, honey. And I have a lot of things to say, and this is just me sitting down to say them. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hopefully this video interests you enough for you to want to hang out with me again. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do. And if you find this video helpful or anything else that I've said on this channel, make sure that you share it with a friend. Don't keep them to yourself, friend. Okay? All right. First up, for my updates today in life, love, and business, I want to talk about something that's been going on with me lately as it relates to my health. I'm in fairly good health. As a woman in her mid-40s, I am on a quest to master my well-being in every way, heart and mind, body, soul, spirit, in all the things. I want to be well. What has been happening with me lately, though, is I found a new primary care physician. So I'm grateful for that. I really like her. She listens well. We strategize together on what is the best plan of action for me to take to invest in my health and my well-being. And she's got me on a 3-month nutrition plan. And she gave me some guidance on things that I need to be eating. And I will see her once a week to just check in with her and let her know how things are going. We take my body measurements, not just my weight, but mass, everything. And I ain't gonna even lie to you. I ain't gonna even hold you. I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it at the same time. It's been a few weeks now and it's going well, but it's already challenging me. And this is something that I have learned about myself. Certain things I will sign up for a challenge. I've got 3 degrees, right? I'm a whole doctor. I know how to do hard things. I know how to put my mind to something and see it through. But when it comes to nutrition specifically, I just feel like that's the one arena where I want to do what I want to do. And I end up doing what I want to do, even if it's not good for me, that ain't good, y'all. So I am trying to change my approach, change my mindset. I have lost weight before multiple times in my life. I've been fighting with the same 15 to 20 pounds for about 20 years. You do well and then a life event happens. In my case, I had 2 kids and then you gotta, work changes happen and I work from home now. And, there's just all of these things that come into play. And then also as I'm getting older, things like perimenopause hit me on the horizon. Your metabolism changes, things just begin to happen and you have to do your research and you've got to know what's best for you, which is why I prioritized finding a new PCP that I felt like I could talk to, who would listen to me, and that we can work together in collaboration to see me be well. I don't know if I said earlier, but I'm pre-diabetic. So the amount of sugar that I know that I eat, I shouldn't be eating it. That ain't even rocket science. I know that, but making that adjustment has been hard for me. So in this moment, my life update is that I'm really working on trying to be more intentional, more thoughtful, and more diligent about making the choices that align with what I say that I want for myself. Diabetes runs in my family, but it could stop with me if I made different choices. And so I'm not there yet. I'm not a full-on diabetic yet, but I am in the pre-diabetic range, at the top of that limit, at the top of the range before you enter into the red zone for actual diabetes. And so this is a chance for me to, for the first time, honestly, look at food as a way to heal my body and not just lose weight. So I'm sharing this with you all publicly, not because I intend to take you on the journey with me and we're going to be going to my doctor's visits and stuff like that. We're not doing it. But I just, even if it's for my own accountability, there's something about saying things out loud that can be helpful both to me and to you watching. Maybe you also are a woman in my age class who is challenged with the same things. And also there's a psychological layer to it as well, because for example, my grandmother passed away in 2015. So she's been gone. Gosh, this year will be 10 years, which is wild. And I miss her so much. And my mother and I have not lived in the same state since I was 17, 18 years old. So it's been a really, really long time in terms of me laying my eyes on her regularly. And we don't talk very often. So the way that I've looked at that is, while on one hand, because I'm her daughter, she's missed out on a lot of my transition into adulthood, I've also missed out on her transitioning into her senior years, if that makes sense. And so not being able to have a lot of conversations about how the women specifically in my family age. Because, when you're a kid, like, your grandparents are like old from when you small. Like, they're old your whole life in your mind. I think my grandmother was in her early 80s. I forgot her exact age when she died, but she was, she was getting up there. But not being able to have conversations about what aging was like with them, and perimenopause, and your hair texture and the density changing. I've got a full head of gray hair. I dye my hair. But the women in my family, they all kind of gray right here around the crown first. And like, there's just all of these questions and conversations that we haven't been able to have just because of time and distance, both physically and emotionally, a lot of the stuff I'm just kind of figuring out on my own, and, sharing with my friends and things like that. And so it's good to be able to go see a medical professional. And I'm not giving you advice here on what you should do, but if there's any piece of advice I'm going to give you, if you can, talk to a doctor. Okay. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to nobody on YouTube. Go talk to your doctor, find out what they say to you if you can, and get some actual guidance from a medical professional, which is what I had to do as well. We ran a panel, a blood panel to see what exactly my numbers are. Like, what does the data say? So that way we can make decisions from there. So all of that going back to this challenging me now, like in this moment in time and in this season, to say, Amber, in the way that I work with my coaching clients, like, what do you really want? What do you really want for yourself? And for me, I want to be healthy. I want to have vitality. I want to just feel good in my body and in my skin. And I want to take vitamins, not medication. So if that's the goal, then the choices that I make now in changing my relationship with food, and again, looking at it as a way to heal my body and not just lose weight, is my goal. So I'll keep you posted on that now that I've said it out loud, and I'll share with you, how things go as time goes on. I'm in the middle of this. Well, we're coming up on the completion of my first month with working with my doctor. So I'll keep y'all posted as things continue to unfold. All right. That's my life update. My love update is, or just comments that I want to make about love, is something that I'm in such a season of learning and unlearning. I'm learning new things about myself, and I am unlearning old habits and behaviors in a way that can help me show up in the way that I desire, both as a person, as a partner, as a mom, like all of the roles I have, a best friend, sister, auntie, like all of that. And so much of what I am learning about myself now, and I might have even mentioned this in my previous video, is confronting my abandonment wound and what that has meant for me and how it has shaped and informed my attachment style. And I'm reading this book. I just dropped it before I started. I'm reading this book called You Are the One You've Been Waiting For, Applying Internal Family Systems to Intimate Relationships. Internal family systems, like this, the main concept of it, the main idea of it is that all of us have multiple personalities, effectively. Like, we have these different parts of ourselves that live within us, and they are in conversation with each other as well, not even necessarily with each other, but they exist within us. And they were born to protect us at different stages of our lives. When we were children, most often from our childhood is when these parts emerge. And he says that he landed on the term parts because as a therapist, his clients would say to him, well, part of me wants to do this, and the other part of me wants to do that, and another part of me wants to do this. So that's just language that we all can relate to, and talking about how we have these different parts of ourselves and these different ways that we think about things. Like on the one hand, I want to do this. On the other hand, I want to do that. So his theory suggests that like all of us have that within us. But what ends up happening is these parts were born to protect us, whether we were abused or abandoned, neglected, hurt in some kind of way. And as we grow as people and as we evolve, these parts, he said to look at them as like children in a basement, which is like, it's kind of did you watch Flowers in the Attic? There's a book called Flowers in the Attic when I was a kid. That was very scary, and the movie was very scary, but it was a really popular book. But anyway, like this lady like kept her kids like locked up in this basement. It was in the attic of her house. But anyway, it's like that. Like you have these children that live inside of you in the basement of who you are, and they are like seeking and yearning attention. If they feel like you are being threatened or abused or abandoned, whatever, they will like emerge to protect you. So sometimes it's like if you're in conflict, for example, and you feel like kind of ragey or really upset and you don't know why exactly, that's probably your part showing up to fight to protect you. I'm familiar with the concept of it because we can talk about healing our inner child, but I think the difference with the internal family systems is that it goes deeper than it basically says that we have inner children, not just one inner child. And I like the notion of that. And so I read I had both of these books here and they fell. The main one is called No Bad Parts, the Internal Family Systems Model. But this one, the second one, which was the first one that I mentioned, is specifically about your romantic relationships and your partnership. And it has been I'm getting so much more out of the second one even than the first one, because it helps me understand how some of the decisions and the choices that I have made in my life are informed by my abandonment wound, yes, but also how I have these different parts of myself that are advocating for being protected and for being taken care of and for feeling cherished, and things that I didn't get as a child. And it's really, really eye-opening, and it's helping me a lot. It's helping me deepen the conversations that I'm having with my husband just about how I'm showing up in our relationship. And it's been really helpful to me. I love, love, love learning about myself for sure, but also just about the lived experience and about our relationship. This is how I'm able to expand and deepen my work as a communication expert and coach, and helping individuals, but also couples, like confront some of their communication related challenges. And so yeah, that's a new thing that I'm just about halfway through this book, and I'm getting so much out of it. Maybe I'll come back and do a whole video later with like a full review about the book. But as I'm reading these pages, I'm just like, oh my goodness, yes, this makes so much sense for me. I'm even taking the time to go through and do the exercises in the chapter. And this is also going to help me as a writer, as I'm working on my next book and thinking about what I want the reader to get out of it as it relates to their communication skills and how they impact their relationships. So yeah, a lot of learning and unlearning happening just in general. And I'm excited. I'm excited to feel like I'm growing and to be investing in my growing. And I think that's just, if I were to offer a piece of advice to you, that's what I would give you. It's never stop learning. Never stop learning about yourself. We know this to be true about life in general, that it goes on and on. Like we're always learning something, but being intentional about learning not just who you are, but how you are, meaning like, how did you become who you are today? What experiences shaped and defined the person that you have become today? And I promise it will make such a difference in the way that you see yourself, that you see the world around you, and that most importantly, the way that you engage with other people around you, because our relationships are so vital to our well-being and the human experience. And so I want you to be better at starting, building, and maintaining those relationships. And some of that starts with you. Like, you have to learn how to sit in the mirror and put down your magnifying glass, because it's so easy to want to look outwardly and look through your magnifying glass and worry about what everybody else is doing. And you don't spend enough time sitting with yourself. And even me, as a communication expert, I'm a great listener. I'm a good friend. Like, I'm a great partner. And I know that. I know that. And I have proven that 10 times over in my marriage. But that don't mean that I'm not without flaw. Duh. All of us have something that all of us, everybody's got their something, I like to say. And so I always like to be mindful of how I'm showing up, and wherever there's an opportunity for me to grow, I'm going to take that. And so reading these books have been really helpful for me. So let me know in the comments if you want me to share more about the book, and what I got out of it, or just maybe like my kind of top 5 main things that I'm getting out of it. Like, you can see I'm highlighting so much on every page, because there's just so much to take in here, and I'm really enjoying it. So those things are all like helping me in my partnership and just in my life in general. Lastly, again, these videos are about life, love, and business. Something that I wanted to share, just like, okay, what can I talk about as it relates to business? And I want to share something that I'm proud of, because in the last video, I talked about how, like, I'm exhausted by entrepreneurship, and I'm just like, I'm over it some days. And that's true. But more than that, I am so grateful to do the work that I do for a living as a coach and a speaker, and all the things that I do. And something that I'm grateful for is, or that I'm proud of, is that my name is trusted and respected. It's trusted and respected. People know me. Like, I've just planted a tree in this own little lane that I've carved out for myself as a communication expert who talks about the things that, most stuff that I have to share are not things that you've never heard before, but you've just never heard me say them in the way that I say them. And that same thing is true for you. You might want to pivot in your career or start something new, but you feel like, oh, everybody's already done this before. And it's like, yeah, but they haven't done it the way that you're going to do it, because there's only one you. And when I think about my life, my work life, and how it has evolved, I am very, very grateful to still be here, to still be doing the work that I'm doing, and that again, my name is trusted and respected. So when people reach out to want to work with Dr. Amber Wright, it comes with this expectation, like, oh, she's really good. She's really good at what she does, and she's really great to work with. And that's the type of feedback that I want to get from my clients. I had a meeting earlier today with a client who's a repeat client. We did a couple of sessions. It's a global advertising firm, and it went so well. A couple of years ago, they were like, hey, Dr. Amber, we would love to have you back on doing like a virtual session, and, with their teams from offices all over the world, like literally. And it's coming up tomorrow. We actually have 2 this week. And my contact there, she just was like, gosh, I just always love working with you. I always kind of know what to expect when I'm working with you. And like, even when it comes down to the prepping and the planning, like, I knew that I could trust you in this, because I know that you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. And so that means a lot to me, because your reputation, especially in these business streets, can really be all you have. And a good portion of my business is referral based, because people will experience me in whatever capacity they do, and they're just like, I want to have more of you. I want to have more of this experience with you. How can I have that? Which is another reason why I'm wanting to show up more in other places, like on YouTube, like on LinkedIn, working on my next book, because I look at the book as the thing that I would give to people when they stand in line to talk to me after a keynote. That always happens. Like, after it's over and I come off the stage, people stop me and they want to tell me how what I had to say impacted them. They tell me their stories, their life stories, and their situations. They ask for my advice, all of this. And so I look at the book that I'm working on as like, here's your guide to keep this conversation between us going that we're having right now when I'm not even in your presence. And so that's part of the reason why, again, like, how can I show up in a way that allows me to help more people, but that doesn't always require me to travel? And YouTube is such a great way to do that. And if you haven't seen me speak, You're in luck. I have a TEDx talk here on my channel. It's also on the TEDx channel as well. It's called Ask Better Questions to Build Better Connections. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. That's me in a more formal capacity doing what I do, but in the way that I do it. And I hope that you find it helpful because it's literally that, like how to ask better questions to build better connections, because I think that questions shaped our lived experience. Every relationship you've ever had began and ended with a question, from what are we doing? Are you single? To is this the end? And I want us to think about how we can be better at asking questions so we can be better at, again, starting, building, and maintaining our relationship. So that's something that I'm proud of for myself, that I have been focused, I have been committed and dedicated to this work and to my gift and to being in service to this gift that God has given me. And I'm just really excellent at what I do. And I really, really love it still. It's just some of the back end stuff with business that gets exhausting, but I'm proud of me for staying in the game. So hopefully whatever you're working on, you feel inspired, ready, committed, diligent, all that, to get in the game and do it your way, because there really are no rules. I don't care what nobody say. Like, there's no top 10 specific ways to do your life, because your life is your own. So toss out the rules, follow your heart, focus, and get to work. But let it be easy. That's my theme as well. Let it be easy. So those are my updates for today, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed my video talking about life, love, and business, and my life and in your life, and just how we can get the most out of it. And because that's the whole notion of what the name and the tagline of my business is about. I'm here to give you words well said for a life well lived. And this is what that means, starting with my own. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. I mean, hopefully by now you feel like, I like her, I want to watch more videos from her. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.